All right, you guys. SHAHS, first of all, the SHAHS of Sunset. I can do this review like maybe 2 minutes. Very simple. SHAHS of Sunset. Um, Nothing happened. I didn't watch it the previous week prior to, I think it comes on Sundays. No, I didn't watch it the previous week, and nothing happened this week. And the only thing that was major was Lily really bugging out about the whole, she doesn't want to do Mexico and all that. Girl, please. So I'm kind of over SHAHS of Sunset. Let's keep going. I did watch The Sisterhood when I was laying up in bed sick. I could review it. I'll think about it. SHAHS of Sunset's kind of, it might go into like a whole what I'm watching mix. Black Ink or something like that. It came on before Love and Hip Hop New York, and that show was okay. How can we tie this all in? If you've seen the girl who was fighting with the chick who does the tattoos, Duchess, the girl who, she looked like she was Puerto Rican, short hair. I think she had on like the white beater with the cut sides or whatever. I think she used to be on like a kind of like a internet radio show or television show with, I want to say a couple of times, maybe Rocky Thunder, the girl who was from Love and Hip Hop New York, was on there. But she was on like a show before, and there was I only remember because I've seen it a few times, and there was a girl, a host or something. I think her name was Maya the Bee. I could be wrong. I don't remember, but it was like an all ladies cast. Let's get into Love and Hip Hop New York, which they pretty much got rid of the most interesting people. They kept Yandy, Rich Dollars, I think her name is Erica, Olivia, I think that's it. And all those people are pretty much, they could have got rid of them anyways. Erica is now being managed by Rich Dollars. She's in a relationship with him, and Olivia is invested in their relationship because she doesn't want to mess up her music career or whatever. I don't really care about that. So all of them, they can go. There was a new couple that we didn't get to see. Then we have, I forgot the other girl's name. The two girls who, one has red hair and I believe she's part of the cast, and another one is, she's irrelevant at the current juncture because I can't remember who the hell she is. And let's see what else. We have Yandy and her baby's daddy. Now look, okay, I don't have a problem with Yandy. Now here's what I have a problem with. And this has nothing to do with her, but the whole she's pregnant and her baby's gonna be born. Why she's talking in her little side commentary in the orange shirt? Did that shit, her stomach look fake? Not to mention, it looked very pillow or stuffing-esque in some of the clips, like when she's in her confessional. They could have saved it. I don't need a stump belly. She could have just said, I had my baby, such and on and so forth. You can push her on to the side with her man. Okay, let's see. The couple that is the most interesting. Now, let's tie this all in. Samaya Reese was on our previous Love and Hip Hop episodes, season, 2, 1? However many seasons we're on. She was on New York before, right? She used to date Joe Budden. I think she dated Joe Budden after Tahiri. Like Joe Budden does have a show. He did have a show. I don't know if it still is, but he had one on YouTube where he just basically chronicles his whole life. And the ladies that he was dating at the time. Whatever the case, Tahiri and Joe Budden were together, I believe, and then Samaya Reese came into the picture. I just remember that because I remember it being like a big scandal or something like that prior to her even being on Love and Hip Hop. Before there was even a Love and Hip Hop, if I'm correct, she was on a video with him. And I don't even know if he considers that to be his ex or whatever the case. So, and here's the thing. You can't you can't tell me anything that will make me believe that the show is not scripted, like other people have said and pointed out. Okay, first of all, I told you I believe that her belly, Yandy's belly, was a stage prop stomach. It just didn't look fucking correct in certain scenes. The baby didn't look daisy fresh baby, maybe a day or two or even a week in the hospital. The baby looked more so like it's been out of the womb for about a good 2-3 weeks. But that's one. Okay. Two is, I know y'all seen her storm off and leave her fucking purse. I was like, I have had issues and, heated conversations, but never have I hopped up and fucking forgot my purse. I'm not leaving my fucking phone. You're not catching me leaving my glasses, not a fucking pencil, a pen, all my shit is together. So if I'm getting up, unless we got into a physical altercation, in which case, if somebody's with me, hold my purse. But unless we got into a physical altercation, I'm not leaving my purse. Yeah, she gave me all of K. Michelle. She's shaking the table. Okay. She done spilled all that stuff all over that man. Now, I don't know if Jim Jones was really scripted when he was cutting up with old boy in the previous seasons, when he was about to put his paws on old boy. I don't know about that. But what I do know is this. Most men, if you shake some shit, they gonna look at you at least crazy. Have you lost your mind? Two, I have friends. Love my friends. And male and female, love them to death. But I don't always run to them when I'm talking about my fucking personal life. I've never ran to my friends and told them a whole bunch of things about my personal life. There's a few of them, who will know about my relationships. But it's just like your family. When you put that shit into the air, unless that person's putting their hands on you, you may fucking have an issue with your significant other on Tuesday, and by Wednesday, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, y'all are good again, or you guys, whatever. So your friends don't want to hear that shit. After a while, they don't want to hear it, or they gonna tell you something and you don't want to fucking hear it. So whatever the case, I don't put a whole bunch of stock in every time somebody on one of these Love and Hip Hop shows has a problem. They run to their friends and they're all up in the kitchen talking and drinking. Bitch, no. My friends, we might chop it up on the phone, but it makes for good TV if you have somebody else to talk to, right? Okay. So there's another reason why it's scripted. But we know this is scripted, so we're going to go ahead and keep rolling with it. I like Tahiri. I like Tahiri and Joe Budden's relationship. I think that prior to them ending their relationship, they're a really cute couple. It looks like a genuine, she cares about him, he cares about her type of deal. And I don't give a fuck what nobody tells me. And like I said, I have friends. I have male friends. Have a lot of male friends. We have a strictly platonic relationship. I love them. I look at them like family members. Okay, regardless of how the relationship started off in terms of friends, because I had someone once tell me, guys will look at women first and they think sex, and then they think friendship if they don't have sex. They don't necessarily see her and think, oh, she's going to be a cool friend. No, they think, they look her up and down first, and then it goes into a friendship. So I understand that sometimes, your friendships can start on something that might have been more someone was interested in someone and it just branched into a friendship and it was never romantic at all. But here's my thing. Even with my friends, my male friends who I love dearly, there's no fucking way that I'm gonna be that emotionally invested in their relationships to where I'm getting all caught up in the moment, stuck and hooked on a feeling. No, I'm not crying about if my male friends their girlfriends is tripping. All I care about is if my friend is happy and okay. And that's it. I'm not going to care if you guys broke up and got back together. As long as nobody's getting hurt, I don't give a shit. So her emotional investment in crying and carrying, and it's like if you guys have never done anything, you're not going to be that emotionally invested. But let's just say you never did anything. Okay, then you have feelings beyond a friendship for him. Okay, maybe you guys didn't have sex, and maybe there's nothing sexual that's ever transpired between Joe Budden and Rocky Thunder. But you look a little emotionally invested and attached to him, and I don't give a fuck how many games of truth and truth everybody is playing. Somebody got fucking feelings. And Joe Budden may have been whispering in her ear, telling her everything good, telling her all the right things. And she done got hooked on a fucking feeling and her emotions is involved. And now she wants to, make little snide remarks like at Tahiri. Now, if you've ever been in a relationship where you really love someone and you truly love someone and you just want the best for them, but sometimes you guys just don't work out together, yeah, occasionally fucking years later you're still gonna have emotions for that person. It's just how it is. That's just one of those things. And there could be somebody who creeps into the picture and they were just platonic friends, and then one night you guys was kicking it and having a little bit too much of whatever to drink. Y'all was on that motherfucking Patron or whatever, and Kettle One, and things popped off, and now you're emotionally invested and he's not really there like that. Or you guys may have messed around a couple more times after the fact and he's still not there like that. He just, you cool, you the person he fuck with when he is off from this chick, or he's not messing with this chick, you a filler. And she may not be that might not even be the case. You never know. But the way that she's acting real emotional invested, like she done did some things. Because that's the only reason you act that caught up. It's just there's no other reason for it. I don't know. But there's something that's strange about her whole emotional, crying and carrying on when she got put out. Yeah, you getting put out. It's like you the side chick and his main girls in the house. You really feel like you're gonna have a fucking higher position? That's the bottom bitch. You the motherfucker who ride the back seat. She right next to him. Okay? That's just how it is. Now, Tahiri and Joe Budden are not together. You can tell that she really, really, really loves Joe Budden. You can tell that she, I done gave and gave and gave, and I done put it out there and came back and put it on the line, and I done seen you be with her and her and her and her, and I done, all these things. I done dealt with all this shit, and I'm still rocking with you. But anyways, until next time, you guys, take care.